What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Cocktail Countdown. Today we're already at episode number 15, and we will be talking about the Dark and Stormy. This is actually a pretty interesting story, so hang on with us. I've got someone else to do the history for me today. You must have one of those uncles that knows about everything and always has a story about everything. Yeah, I brought him today. So we will be, obviously, as usual, we'll be looking at the top 50 most popular cocktails of 2020 according to Drinks International. And yeah, I guess I'll throw you over to our guest. Let's hear from you, Uncle Bob.
What are these people here for?
Dark and Stormy.
I see. So you have come to hear about the national drink of Bermuda. Luckily, I am here to tell you guys what's up with this drink. First, we will have to have a look at the Black Seal rum, the distillery that is, established in Bermuda back in 1806 by the good James Gosling. He was an English spirit and wine merchant bound for America who ended up landing in Bermuda after a tough journey which they had back in those days. Actually, after that, this drink is very similar to a Moscow Mule. The Dark and Stormy just happens to have a dark rum instead of a vodka. But not any dark rum, it has to be a Gosling's Black Seal rum. Otherwise, you cannot call it the Dark and Stormy. But more about that in a bit. Firstly, the drink was supposedly invented just after the First World War. As you can imagine, we could all use a bit of joy back in that day. Originally, the drink was made and paired with Barrett's ginger beer, but that deal has worn off some while ago after some internal fighting, and you know how things go. So now any ginger beer is fair game. My good old friends, the Gosling brothers, they happen to have laid claim to the name and issued a trademark, meaning that you can only call the drink a Dark and Stormy or anything closely related if it is made with Gosling's dark rum. So let's see how Koen saves himself out of that one, because I don't think he has that rum. Back to him.
Welcome back, guys. I hope you had a good time with the uncle. Dude knows his stuff, right? So we will be getting started with actually making this, well, let's call it the perfect storm, because as you just heard in the story, we can't call it a Dark and Stormy. I do have a Black Seal rum, but it's a overproof rum, so I don't really want to make my Dark and Stormy with that, because it's not going to taste the same, and it's going to be a little bit too boozy for me. So I'm just putting that to the side, and we will actually be making this one with Kraken rum. So Kraken is actually pretty similar to this dark rum. It's really nice and spicy. In general, dark rums are quite nice and spicy. We'll get started. Again, this is a pretty simple one. Only 3 ingredients. So I'm just gonna need a glass, and I will be already putting some ice into that. There we go. And then I will be using my ginger beer. So again, as you guys know from here, we'll normally use the Fever Tree ginger beer. So the same story now. I can use pretty much the whole bottle. Just want to leave some room for the rum, so we can actually have some space to put that in. And then as second ingredient, I have my lime juice. Obviously freshly squeezed. Just to make sure that it's nice and fresh, and we still get all of those nice citrus notes that we need, or that we want at least. I'll be using 20 ounces of this, so about 3/4 of an ounce. 20 milliliters. So about 3/4 of an ounce of the lime juice. So we'll be adding that to it. As you can see, this is just a build cocktail, so it's just a matter of putting everything, layering everything on top of each other, and then that's our cocktail done already. So these are definitely some of the easier cocktails. Now the only thing I need to keep in mind is that I want to put my straw in first, just to make sure that we don't disturb the float once we put it on there, because if we end up floating the dark rum and then we put a straw in there, then it will just punch through with the rum as well. So we won't be doing that. And I'll be using 2 ounces or 60 milliliters of the dark rum, and I'll just be gently adding that to our drink. There we go. And as you can see, if you would put the straw through now, it would just push everything down, and that's why I'd always like to do this first. And as a garnish, gonna go back to our trusty dehydrated lime. Again, just a lime wedge could do perfectly fine as well. There you go, guys. That's our perfect storm. Okay, and then on to our tasting. Obviously, for the nicety, or like when it comes to the table, it needs to look nice. But of course, once you're tasting it, you want to kind of have the dark rum in there. So I'll be mixing that in a little bit. Yeah, so as you might have heard, this is pretty similar to a Moscow Mule ingredient-wise, but you can really tell that the dark rum brings something new to the table here. It really adds to, yeah, it just gives a little addition to the ginger beer. And I mean, it's very close obviously to a Moscow Mule, but it definitely is in its own league. Rum just has those different kind of vibes, different kind of tastes, and this one especially, since it's a spiced rum, it just really works well with the spiciness of the ginger beer. Yeah, and I think that's just the beauty of this cocktail. As so often, they are sometimes super simple, but they just tend to work, and I think that's one of the big things on this list. All of these cocktails just tend to work very well. Yeah, as you guys might have seen, or if you will stick around for a little bit, I'll make sure that I have another video up for you guys if you want to figure out more good rum cocktails. Just stick around for that one. And yeah, besides that, thank you guys for being here. Make sure to leave a comment for us, drop a like, and also subscribe to the channel if you like what we're doing. Yeah, and otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.